Do you have a Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma? And don't you know that you can wake up the nodes to get a new branch of growth? Welcome back, you guys. My name is Abel and I'm an arid enthusiast where I collect anthuriums and philodendrons. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my 5 tips on how to care for your Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma to get that luscious and massive leaves for your plants. So, let's find out. You guys, I love this plant so much, and you've probably seen this one many times in my videos because when I started my plant journey, this was my first plant that I got from International. And I've had a lot of struggle, of course, on how to care for this plant. However, I've learned from my mistakes. So today, I'm going to be sharing with you on how to care for my Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma. And along in the videos, I'm going to be showing you some photos from before. So you guys, a lot of you have asked me how I care for my Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma, and this is it now. However, you probably, like I said, seen a lot of the videos out there, especially some of the videos that I made from the past. However, I decided to do it at once so you guys know what I did for this plant from the beginning when I first started growing this plant. So let's talk about the number 1 tip. Use potting mix with good draining system. You guys, I cannot stress to tell you about this one because I've seen of my friends getting their Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma died because of not having good draining system. However, this plant, they can survive in the water alone, in perlite alone, and in coco coir alone. So my media that I am using for this one, I have actually 3. The first one, for the big plant that I'll be showing you later on, I am using a bark, coco coir, and perlite. The second plant that I'll be showing with you is just a pure coco coir and perlite. And the third one that I'll be showing with you is the one that I'm growing in pumice, laverack, and bark. Moving on to tip number 2. Humidity. Humidity is the key for this plant. I'm keeping my plant inside of this room. However, I don't have a good source amount of sunlight coming through in this room. The other 2, the one is living or growing above the stairs and the other one is downstairs. So all in all, the source of light for this one is the LED light. Because you know guys, a good humidity level can really does contribute to the growth of the plant. So moving on to tip number 3. Fertilizer. You guys, I've seen some of my friends not really following what I'm telling them, so why bother asking how I care for my plants? But you gotta think about that it may work for me, it doesn't mean that it will work for your plant as well. However, fertilizer is really a must for this plant to get that nodes awaken and get new branches of growth along the stem. I'm going to be showing you later on all the nodes that leading into my Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma. So moving on to tip number 4. You guys, indirect sunlight or bright area or bright spot. This is my Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma is growing crazy. You can place this one outside in the morning. However, I don't really recommend placing it direct sunlight because it can scorch the leaves. Lastly, for my tip number 5, use grow light if you don't have a good source amount of sunlight or even sunlight at all. Because grow light, you guys, it really helps a lot because grow light really helps to produce a lot of prominent foliage of the leaves, especially growing long aerial roots and getting that big leaves of your plants. So let's move on into the plants and I'll be showing with you how my plants so you guys have a better understanding about my 5 tips that I am talking to you. Okay guys, let's start with this plant over here. I've had this propagated about 3 leaves if I'm not mistaken. Since we moved here, it's been growing, and this is the big leaf so far. I hope you guys can see that. That's the big leaf, and you guys can tell that the splits are perfect, and this is a new growth, and I have new growth there as well. And these actually are the old leaves, and so far it's really growing well. So this one, I don't know what happened to that. I am growing this plant in cocoa core and perlite. So this was the one that I'm telling you guys a while ago. So for these 3 over here, I have this one growing in cocoa core and tons of perlite. For this one, I have a mix of cocoa core, perlite, and bark. And on this side over there, that is my pumice, lava rock, and bark. So let's move on onto this plant. I'm going to move this plant here for now. So this plant is growing in my living room, and so far it is really growing well. And look at that aerial root. That's the aerial root that I am talking about you guys lately. So I haven't fertilized this one as much as the one over here, and that's why I'm not really getting a lot of aerial roots for this one. But so far it's pretty good, like it's pretty healthy. I don't have any problems, especially insect or any pest. I've never had any pest for these plants over here, which is amazing. So for this one, like I said, I'm growing it with lava rock, pumice, and bark. And also on top of that, I put a lot of Osmocote. That is my preferred fertilizer. It's a slow release fertilizer. And for this mother plant, you guys, I don't know how to water it anymore because it's been growing really long. And I don't know, I'm keeping this one here, and I've never removed it since the day it started to grow now on this area, because it's a hassle for me if I keep on bringing this one in the bathroom. So what I did, I placed a bucket, and then every time I'm just pouring some water in here, and I make sure that the water is drained enough or drained well before I started to water it again. So this is the node that I am talking to you guys. So this node here, every stem has nodes on, and you can wake up the node of this plant and get a new growth. This one don't have a split. I don't know what happened, and this is the first one though. And you guys can see that one I cut it off because I propagated and I gave it to other people as well. But at the back, new growth is growing. I hope you guys can see that. It's in that corner. And this is the long aerial root. Long aerial root, you guys, which you can always cut it off and propagate it or place it right away in the soil if you wanted to do that. So that's the long aerial root. And just to show you the nodes, I can see from here. Let's start in here. So this one here, this is the internode of the plant, and that is the node. You guys can see that. That is the node. And this one over here, it's at the back. And that is another node. Another node that is almost coming out, hopefully soon. And some here on top as well. In a couple of weeks or so, I will be showing you the update of this one. For this part here is the bushy ones because this was the plant that I had when we were in the old place. So pretty much guys, that is my Rhaphidophora or Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma. And if you want to have this plant all over the place in your house, you can always do propagation. Propagation is also the key. So that's pretty much it guys. Like I said, if you have any questions, just comment down below. You guys, that's pretty much all of my tips on how to care for my Rhaphidophora Tetrasperma to get that luscious and massive leaves for your plants. Just for the recap, my first tip, use potting mix with good draining system. Number 2, humidity. Humidity is the key. Number 3, use fertilizer because fertilizer will really boost that nodes to grow and get that long aerial roots for your plants. And also take advantage to feed your plant with this time of the year. Springtime and summertime is the best. So you guys take advantage of that. Number 4 is indirect or bright spot or bright area. No too direct sunlight. And lastly, if you don't have any good source amount of sunlight or no sunlight or bright area or no light at all, you can always use grow light because grow light will help your plants to grow. Thank you guys for watching and listening, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And also don't forget to follow me on my Instagram, Abel's Plant, and subscribe to my channel. Until then, see you on my next video. Bye!